Playing the Game & Watch games. Here we go. So this one you're supposed to dodge. So let me preface with this one that, you know, the point I'm playing through the Mario franchise as this new series I'm doing, and like I said last night, the point isn't to do it well. The point is I'm just trying to beat the games. So there's going to be a lot of save points, a lot of mess ups, a lot of just oops. So yeah, no shame here, dude. You can be a lot of saving and loading, dude, because I'm just trying to beat the game. Not trying to prove anything. And in these Game & Watch games, there really is no like end. It's just like you have to get to 1,000 points. That's cool. What's my max on this? 203 points. All right, and we're going for 1,000 points. I'm warning you now, Carlton. This beeping is gonna get real annoying quick. Dude, did you ever beat any of the, you ever play any of the Game & Watch games? Dude, I had no idea who Game & Watch was until, was it Super Smash Brothers, Brawl? On the Wii? When he was one of the unlocked, because he wasn't on Melee, right? He was on Brawl. Or that's when he was first introduced to, Super Smash. Yeah, I doubt you played any of the games. Well, now that I'm thinking about it, because, you know, all the Game & Watch games traditionally have been, like, it feels like one game per handheld device. It's like, this game is called Helmet, so if you want to play the Helmet game, you gotta buy the whole handheld for it. You know those, like, 90s, like, handheld games? Like, I think we had one from, like, me and my brother had, some Star Wars... some, like... Star Wars Tiger games. Or it was like a Star Wars game made by Tiger Toys or something. Yeah, I forgot when he was like an actual playable character. Mr. Freeman. Ah, come on. Yeah, dude, who is the G-Man, dude? There's, like, no backstory about who the G-Man is. Other than he seems like he has these, powerful connections and able to do many things. Dude, that new game, Half-Life Alyx, looks fun, but unfortunately it's VR only. I wish they made it like both, like VR compatible. Like in case you want to play it like a normal Half-Life game or play it VR, you can, but you know, hey, that's the internet for you. We're gonna make a spaceship that runs off the internet. All of our clusters are gonna run on the internet. Anyways, Pete, I warned Carlton because he hasn't been in here with me playing this game yet, but yeah, these beeps are going to get annoying real quick. Or wait, no, we talked about this last night, Pete. This is a soothing retro sound files to you. Alright, we hit 100. Only 900 more points to go, y'all. Going back to Half-Life Alyx. So, as of right now, it's only VR. And the only VR I own is the PS VR for the PlayStation 4. And, you know, with like most things, there's a lot of stuff that exists on PC VR that's not available on the PlayStation VR. But I guess some people solve that issue. There's an app or a program you could buy for like 20 bucks. I was looking into it. It's a program that makes your PSVR headset compatible with your PC. Like, basically, your PC recognizes it as, like, any other PC headset, VR headset, like HTC Vive or Oculus or the Valve Index, you know, Valve's VR headset. Which is good news, because then I don't have to... Well, I mean, if you guys have seen the prices on VR headsets, they're, like, at starting, like, at $1,000 bucks. Now, I think the Oculus has, like, light versions, which are wireless, and, like, it doesn't connect to your PC, really. It just, like, it's all built into your headset, like, the games and everything. Apparently now there's, like, you can hook up your Oculus, like the lighter version to your PC if you want to, but the point is I don't want to spend all this money to buy a VR headset again just to play VR games on my PC. So this company out there basically made a program that you just plug your PSVR headset in and, you know, install this program, or you run it every time. I don't know how it works in details, but yeah, it basically makes it so you can use your PSVR headset on a PC, which is perfect because, yeah, like, I'm not willing to drop $1,000 or so on like a HTC Vive or, dang it, a Valve Index. Dude, Carlton, remember playing the Carnival games when you came over here January 2020? You and Chris? And we were I think we tried there was like that Resident Evil like VR demo that we're like, no dude, you try it. I ain't trying that crap. It was a workout. Dude, it really is, huh? Your freaking arms are... Remember the climbing one? It's like your freaking, like, rotator cuffs. Your shoulders are burning. You know, to me, I think I've said this before, but, you know, VR, I don't think, VR is not going to become the new standard. You know, people were like, oh, this is where gaming is going. It's like, well, in my opinion, no. To me, it's a bonus. It's not going to become the standard where, like, everybody's going to be playing by default hooked up to freaking VR, like, a VR headset. I think VR is going to stay, like, bonus. It's not going to become the standard. Because I think even from, like, a health perspective, yeah, there's a lot of people get, like, sick playing VR. Like, motion sickness. So it's like, yeah, there's just a lot of things that just... Yeah, no, VR is not the standard, dude. VR is a bonus. It's fun for what it is, but... No. But, you know, for me, like, VR, like, even as a bonus, I'm not into playing VR... like full games, like real full game, like, you know, like, I would never play Skyrim VR. I have Skyrim VR on the PS4, but it, like, makes me sick playing it. in my opinion, VR is fun for like just simple, little fun like games, you know, like you know, for example, like Job Simulator or the Carnival games, like Wii Sports kind of games you don't take seriously. Like I would never play like Gears of War VR, you know. Again, like the kind of VR that's fun. It's like, hey, it's like it's a short game of like, you know, you're working as like a store clerk at a 7-Eleven, you know, or like, you know, a car mechanic, like the Job Simulator. It's like, you know, fun, simple stuff like that. I think is great for VR. You know, it's funny, but no, dude, I would never play a full game serious. Oh, it left off. Okay, cool. I mean, I had quick save anyway, so no big deal, but seems like it has the interrupt save ability, as they call it. Alright, Pete, so you're saying you could fall asleep to this beeping, huh? It's very soothing, right? Man, this is gonna take forever. Alright, folks, we hit the 300 mark. Only 700 more points to go before we hit 1,000. Hey, boy. That's what it sounds like. Sounds like some funky syncopated beats. Whoa, it sped up. It sped up. Ugh, dude, when are they gonna make a Mario Kart 9, man? That's the... Okay, so I'm not sure if I like the whole porting of the Switch games to... Wii U games to the Switch. You know, I kind of... In some ways, I felt like it was kind of a cop-out, kind of like a lame excuse. And... you know, for reasons more so like... So, some more reasons more so because... Okay, so I do like how they've taken some games from the Wii U, and when they've ported it, they've changed or added things. So, like, Toad Treasure Tracker, right? There's a Toad Treasure Tracker on the Wii U, Toad Treasure Tracker on the Switch. I have both ports. Now, the Wii U one, the extra levels are actually Super Mario 3D World levels you can play. But on the Switch, the extra levels are from Mario Odyssey. See, and that's a reason you should get a port like that. But, you know, there's a lot of ports they've ported over from the Wii U, and I'm like, So here's why it makes me upset, because some are like, why not? They're different. You know, or people get to experience them because the Wii U didn't do well, so people wouldn't have bought these games. And I go, And in my opinion, I'm like, yeah, that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But the problem we're seeing is that instead of like coming out with new games, it's like they're just like porting games from the Wii U to the Switch instead of coming out with games. It'd be one thing if they're like releasing Wii U ports on the Switch as well as coming out with a bunch of content, but they're not. Like, for example, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. You see, Mario Kart 8 originally came out on the Wii U. And they ported it to the Switch. And you know, what they changed was it's like it runs at 1080p instead of 720, I think, and you know, you get all the DLC. It's like that's great. And that's not a problem because, you know, for a lot of people like, yeah, you know, like I get to enjoy it because I'd never go buy a Wii U. Yeah, that's great, and that's for those people. Like there's nothing wrong with that, like I've said. The problem is, it's like, you know, hey, did you release that instead of releasing a Mario Kart 9? Like, why is there no Mario Kart 9? And we're 4 years into the Switch? Like, are you using Mario Kart 8 Deluxe as your Mario Kart? Like, that's a dumb excuse. Prime remake, right? That's what I'm hoping for. Or Metroid Prime 4, but anyways, you get what I'm saying, right? It's like, I don't see a problem with their strategy of porting Wii U games to the Switch because, for a couple reasons, like, you know, people didn't play them, they've never heard of them because a lot of people didn't buy a Wii U, you know, and the Wii U didn't do well. It's like, hey, all those people that missed that opportunity and who are probably not going to go buy a Wii U just to play, you know, 3D World, yeah, it makes total sense. I'm not against that. Like, I'm in agreement. Like, dude, like someone who's like a casual gamer and not a collector, dude, I wouldn't make them go spend $300 on a Wii U, you know, and buy a bunch of games, you know, all over again. For someone who's just a casual and not a collector, dude, that'd be a terrible recommendation. But, you know, you re-release Mario Kart 8 on the Switch, and someone's like, "Oh, dude, yeah, if you release that Wii U game to the Switch, I'll buy it." And I think what they're doing with all these deluxe and re-releases, yeah, they're Wii U ports, fantastic idea for those people and for those purposes, right? But if you're gonna be releasing games and porting them and calling them deluxe instead of like making new content, okay, that's where you like it's upsetting and kind of annoying. It's like, okay, yeah, release Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Like, people never got to play it. You know, include all the DLC and the characters and add some stuff. Great. Perfect idea. But, again, don't use that excuse to not come out with Mario Kart 9. Like, then it's like, yeah, that's like, dude, that's like the same thing as it, like, you write an essay for one class and you, like, use it again, like, next year. You know, like, English class? Oh yeah, we read this book last year in my other English class. Well, I'll just open the file again on Word, change the date, and maybe change some words around in case like the teacher has access to my old essay from my other teacher. It's like, dude, that's like what they're doing when when Nintendo's re-releasing Wii U games and porting to the Switch, and not in addition coming out with new stuff. Like, yeah, you're like a dude who's like just reusing your essay again from like last year in like for the new class. I mean, does that make sense? Is anybody else like in agreement, disagreement? Like, do you see what I'm saying? Like, I'm trying to make it clear that like, yeah, I'm not like upset that they re-release the games. Like, I understand the premise. Like, I understand that there's a whole like crowd of people who have never heard of these games and are not gonna go buy a Wii U just to play them. Like, I get it. I'm not upset at that. Like, I even bought those games. I'm not like in like rebellion. I'm not like in protest. Oh, I'm not gonna get those games. Like I even bought them. I bought Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, got Wii U, or got Toad Treasure Tracker on the Switch. Like, dude, got 3D World and plus Bowser's. What's it called? The extra like DLC. Like I got that. I'm just saying that like releasing these games without an edition coming out with new games, like that's just a sad excuse. Okay, guys, we're just over halfway there. 570 points. 569, 70 points. Come on, babe. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. It's a convenient cash grab. Exactly, Carlton. And like I said, I would have no problem if they did that as well as come out with, like, new titles of that game. But they're not doing that. It's like they're releasing these games and going, hey, look, here's new games for you. And you go, no, it's not. Like, I have this game on the Wii U. And then everybody who doesn't have a Wii U goes, oh, look at this new cool game. And you're like, dude, it's nothing new. Like, I literally own this game already. You ever heard of the Wii U? No? Oh, that's how they're getting you. Like, bro, don't release Mario Kart 8 Deluxe and be like, oh yeah, this is the Mario Kart that came out for the Switch. No, it didn't. No, it didn't. If we go the full Switch's lifetime without a Mario Kart 9, like that is literally gonna be like one of the things that will like keep me upset Nintendo. Like I'm always gonna remember. Yeah, do you remember that one time Nintendo re-released a Mario Kart game? Re-released it on another console, and then used that as an excuse as that's the Mario Kart for the Switch? Yeah, dude, what a freaking terrible thing, man. Super annoying. And I'm not talking about how one game comes out on two consoles like Twilight Princess or Breath of the Wild. And we're not talking about that here, where it's multiplat, you know, because that's Twilight Princess came out with the GameCube and the Wii. Breath of the Wild came out on the Wii U and the Switch. We're not talking about that. We're talking about how they're re-releasing a game. That would be like if they came out with like Super Mario Odyssey on the Switch, and then whatever the next Nintendo system is, they re-release Mario Odyssey and call it Super Mario Odyssey Deluxe, and you're like, okay, like that's cool, like you're releasing it again, like with some extra stuff on this next console, cool, but don't try to play this off like this is the console's Mario. Reusing products is how we got anime. I don't know. I'm hoping I'm making sense. I know I'm going on a rant, but I'm just trying to like show you. Like I feel like I'm being pretty. Like I feel like I'm being pretty logical in what I'm saying. Like again. Not upset if you want to re-release games and then like also come out with new content. Sure, go for it. You know, we're all about HD and remasters. You know, there's nothing wrong with re-releasing games. But that's like, I don't know, for example, like Final Fantasy VII Remake or whatever. It's like, or Shenmue 1 and 2 Remake they did. It's like, they remade them, but they didn't use that as an excuse of like, yeah, here's your new Shenmue games. Here's your new Final Fantasy game. It's like, well, you know, like, if they tried to pull that, you'd be like, well, that's not a new Final Fantasy game. You just took it and, like, redid it. It's not a new Shenmue game. You just like redid it, which is, and you know, just so you know, like when they released Shenmue 1 and 2 HD remaster or remake, they did it for anticipation of Shenmue 3, which came out like a few months later. So, like, that makes sense. It's like, hey, we're going to be releasing Shenmue 1 and 2 again, except HD. So it'll be in 1080p and available on modern console. Oh, sweet! And we're doing that because we're going to be releasing Shenmue 3. And you go, oh, dude, that's a perfect idea. It's been a while since we've seen this game, so re-release them as release the old games in HD in anticipation for the third game. Cool. Okay, so you're not using an excuse that 1 and 2 is new Shenmue games. But that's what Nintendo's doing with these, like, deluxe games, is they're, like, re-releasing them as, like, new games, not in addition to other new games they're coming out with. Seriously, studios wanted to get around demanding unions in the 70s, 80s, so they just dubbed over Japanese anime, horribly censoring and butchering it. Oh, wow. Whoops. Anyways, that's my rant. That's my rant. We're trying to pass the time while we see the same things falling over and over again, and these beeps, listening to these beeps non-stop over and over again. Trying to kill time, as they say. Hey, Carlton, you want a Sega Pico for Christmas? Hey, Carlton, I know what I want for Christmas, man. Can you get me Mario's Missing? Wait, Carlton, can you remind me again what you were saying? That you like rented Mario's Missing? Right? Like over the weekend? On like your Super Nintendo? Like thinking it was gonna be awesome, and you played like an hour or two of it, and then like freaking put it back in the Blockbuster case and just like left it there until you had to return it. I'll include Bug 2 in Mario's Time Machine. You know what's sad, dude? Yeah, I always wanted to play Bug 2 because Bug was actually good, man. The original Bug on the Saturn, like, dude, that could have been like Saturn's like flagship platform game. You know, just like you know, it's Mario for Nintendo, and they had Sonic with the earlier ones. Like, you know, Bug could have been like a new like adventure platformer, like Spyro or Crash. In addition to Sonic. And I was like, oh, Bug 2, they came out with a sequel. I've never played Bug 2, man. And I've always wanted to play it, but I've heard like bad things about it, how it was terrible. Okay, you know what's funny is I tried playing Mario's Time Machine a few years ago, and I actually thought that was worse than Mario's Missing. Like, I actually couldn't figure out how to play Time Machine. What was it? Transformers Beast Wars on the N64? Thinking it was going to be some like, oh, maybe it's going to be some action adventure platforming kind of game, like a, I don't know, like something very exciting, third person view, playing levels. It was a Blockbuster exclusive crappy arcade game. We were so bummed, man. LJN was crap on a stick. Did the gaming historian go over LJN or something like that? I feel like he did, right? Okay, folks, we're at the 800 mark. Only 200 more points to go before we get 1,000. Which then is technically beating the level, or the game, I should say. Not the whole game, but specific to Game & Watch Helmet game. Because, you know, Game & Watch is just a... I'm sorry, Game & Watch Gallery is just a collection of the Game & Watch games. As they were all individual games. Dude, I really like the gaming historian. You know who showed me? That was you, Carlton. You sent me some videos from a gaming historian. I really enjoyed the Star Fox one. I thought, dude, that was great. You ever notice that, like, the gaming historian, like, his videos don't come out often, but when they do, they're, like, really good. Like, in comparison of frequency to, like, the Angry Video Game Nerd or Metal Jesus Rocks, like... Oh, I think it's because, like, all his episodes are, like, an hour long, or, like, anywhere from 30 minutes to an hour long, because they're detailed, so... I get it. You know, because, like, you know, most, like, game videos, like, from, like, Metal Jesus Rocks is, like, you know, 10 minutes, 15, maybe 20. And it's like, okay, in comparison, that's, like... You know... One whole episode, like, a few of those is one whole episode of Gaming Historian. Makes sense. Dude, the first time... I remember the first time I watched a... Metal Jesus Rocks video. Carlton, you sent me a video from him in, like, 2015. I think he was, like... It was like a Dreamcast video. They take months to create one episode. Research, interviews, editing, exactly. Dude, Metal Jesus Rocks, him and his buddy. I forgot his buddy, like the bald guy. He's a little, he's, you know, kind of like chipper, hilarious, always making dad jokes. Him and Metal Jesus, I watched their, I think it was like their interview. I don't know what you call it, an interview or what, but they're both explaining like where they came from and how they got to know each other. And they worked for Sierra Online. That was a cool episode. I really enjoyed that one. Because I think how video, or did you link in Discord one time? But anyways, in this episode where Paul and Metal Jesus are talking, like how they got started, so Metal Jesus first worked at Sierra Online first, and Paul worked actually at this coffee pop-up truck, which is something cool and unheard of in the 90s. And basically the premise of the coffee truck was it would show up at the... Because I guess where Sierra Online was located was like a industrial park or something. You know, like most places like that are. And on break, they would sling like, you know, cappuccinos and lattes and mochas and espresso shots and coffee. And I guess, like, Paul was looking for a way out, and, like, Metal Jesus, like, said, hey, like, you should work here, or something like that. And then next thing you know, he does end up working there. But, like, knows, like, nothing about video games. Anyways, it was a good episode. So if you ever have a time to watch that one, look that one up. You guys, only 100 more points to go. Come on. Pete, do you follow, any more of the Metal Jesus crew? Like, do you watch, Reggie or, John Riggs? It's funny how they're referred to as the Jesus Crew, because like that's maybe the unofficial of what they refer to, but everybody calls it. Even other like gaming channels refer to it as like, yeah, the Jesus Crew or Metal Jesus Crew. Riggs, yes. I actually I follow Riggs on Twitch. He streams a lot of retro stuff, and his whole like niche for streaming is that he streams a lot of like hacks and like mods or homebrews, like NES and SNES homebrews and hacks. I actually remember one time he live streamed what he does for work, so I guess he does like voiceovers and like commercials, like for the radio and stuff. Like, call now and get 20% off. That like he does that. He does that. Like, Metal Jesus Rocks is still on the level of like if you go to a gaming convention, you'll be able to hang with him. James Ralph is like, you go to a convention, he's probably got like bodyguards with him, like kind of celebrity status. I think you're right, because there's a lot of other game collecting channels I watch, and they're like, oh, I'm going to the so-and-so convention in Idaho this weekend. You know, it's like a bunch of like retro vendors, and usually it's like in a motel or hotel. Not a motel, hotel. And, you know, in those conventions, that's where people like Metal Jesus show up, the Pixel Gaming Squad or Pixel Squad, John Riggs, Kelsey from the Metal Jesus Crew. I mean, those are the kind of people that are still like, they're active. Like, they're more like on the ground level. They're not like super disconnected, you know, like high up and high and mighty. But out of come on, dude, 19 points to go, man. 18. Let's go. Come on, dude. 5 more points? 5? Yep, 5 more. Let's go, man. Finally, dude, we hit 1,000. So that's how you know you hit 1,000. It starts over. See? 1, 2 points. Oh my gosh. Here we go, man. Here's the original, the classic game of ball. Yeah, boy. Whoa. What was that? I didn't even see the lightning animation. Next thing I knew, I was just struck with lightning, dude.